Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
Well, everybody, welcome to Victorious Software Engineering. This is the first live stream, and it might be a little bit choppy. It's the first time we're trying, so bear with us. Um, Streaming from a laptop actually is not as easy as they thought. But yeah, so what is Victorious Software Engineering? It's a YouTube channel dedicated to interviewing different software engineers around the world, learning from their journeys, because a victorious software engineering career looks different to everyone. So with me today, we have none other than my mentee. I work with her. She's absolutely amazing, an all-around all-star, and that is Beata. Beata, welcome.
Hey, Vitor. Thanks for having me. It's such a pleasure to be here to talk with you. And yeah, been a long time. Like we've been working together, and yeah, it's such a pleasure for me too.
Nice. So let's start this first. A little introduction. Who are you? Where are you from? And where are you based at the moment?
So I'm Polish. I moved to UK. I think 8 or 9 years ago. I started. I love turnarounds in my career. I was a graphic designer. Actually, this is one thing probably you don't know. I used to write articles for Christian newspapers. So yeah, there's like a newspaper called Sunday in Poland, and I had like my own thing there. So I used to write a lot, and yeah, but yeah, that's mainly gone. But I think I still kind of like writing, and I'm in the process of writing my very first book about soft skills. Apparently, it's not very, let's say, related to code, but it's for programmers mainly. So yeah, that's me.
Good. So you kind of answered one of my first questions, which was, have you always been interested in being a software engineer, or if you've always been involved in software engineering? But you've told us that you haven't. So please tell us just a little bit more about what jobs did you do as software engineer?
Um, to be honest, I was always very interested in tech itself. I remember my very first interaction with computer-ish thing when my cousins had that Atari game console, and when I saw it, I said like, yeah, this is it. This I was 5. I even have a photo like when I was like staring at the telly with like some sort of game there, and I was like, oh, I was so amazed. I didn't even realize that someone's taking photo of me. So then I got my very first console, and then I got my very first computer. And yeah, I was extremely interested in anything that is related to computing. So it's always like circling around this. But obviously, when I was finishing my secondary school, I didn't know where to go. My main interest was to be an English teacher. But my English sucked at that time, so I didn't pass the exams. So I said like, yeah, maybe it's still kind of like a good thing. So I'm gonna start studying something related to computers. And apparently, I was studying economics and ICT like combined together. So I was learning mainly about how to, let's say, compute and like make future-proof processes in the companies. And apparently, yes, I did that in some of the companies I worked for. So back then, I was doing a lot of freelancing, mainly graphic designing and yeah, writing articles, Christian articles. So I was very there was a lot of freedom, but it wasn't really structured. I also did some PHP and WordPress development. And then I said like, no, I don't really want to do it because graphic design really sucks because I spend too much time on things that no one really care. So then I decided, okay, I'm an educator. I want to teach. I was always teaching people. So I switched to my teaching career, which was one of the most amazing things in my life. And I do miss my students and I do miss the way I felt back then. Yeah, but yeah, I was teaching them programming, applications, web applications, also ICT and things like this. So it's always computing related. And then I decided to immigrate, and obviously my career went back to kind of like the very beginning, and I was a waitress for 3 months in Yo Sushi. So yeah, I could eat sushi every day, so it was fun, but it wasn't related to computers at all. And I was like, oh, this is not something that I want to do forever. So I started looking for a job. So then I got the job as a IT support, and I spent, I think, over 6 years as an IT support. And during this job, I started getting a proper software engineering experience. Well, maybe not proper because it was just mainly me, myself, and I, and trying to figure things out and just to put more, let's say, to take the workload from people and put it in the database and like some sort of front end forms. And yeah, I created my own CRM, which actually worked quite nice. But now, like when I see how much spaghetti code was there and how the hell it actually worked, I'm kind
Don't
of like
worry.
smiling to myself. Yeah,
We've all been there. We've all done those spaghetti codes. So
yeah, it's delicious, but it doesn't work that well. So yeah, and then I decided, okay, I want to have like a job, a proper job, as a software engineer, get to know like why, what's where, and what for. And then I said like, oh, I want some engineer.
and you said you're quite you're passionate about teaching. You're passionate about helping people. And what is it that you love the most about software engineering
Um, in terms of teaching or in terms of just
as a
software
whole?
engineering
As a
as
whole.
a whole? I think the progress, the when you create something like even if it's adding another feature or if it's adding some extra code to make things work, it makes it better. It makes the software better. It
Mm-hmm.
makes the experience better. And the same I have with people. Whenever like you put any sort of energy into teaching or educating, like in general about anything, or you just spend a good time with people, that you see their progress and we can live together towards something better. And that's the reason why I really loved our relationship as a mentor and mentee, and all the things I've learned from you. And I really hope that you've learned a little bit from me too. And I think of with code it's only one side, so I do coding and it's better, but with people we always get something back.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely have learned stuff with you. Um, Now,
Good.
what struggles have you found in your career? So, bearing in mind that um, for the people out there that might be watching either the stream or when it's posted later on the channel, the recording, but for the people out there that are in different, you know, areas, for example, someone like you who was a teacher or someone who might be working at Yo Sushi. Um, Literally, hello to everyone. We love sushi. I mean, I love
Yep.
sushi. Uh,
Me too.
so yeah, I feel envious that you had sushi every day. That especially, like, I can eat so much sushi.
But not the most expensive one. I could eat the cheap one, so don't be that envious.
So yeah, for the people out there that might have gone, through the same thing, or might be a teacher and might be thinking, "Is this even for me?" I guess that's one thing that we could say is, what were some of your struggles coming into the the world of software engineering?
I think the biggest struggle was the lack of confidence and that imposter syndrome that is kicking out like every single time I'm facing any sort of issue or because first of all, what the hell like those people are talking about, like I knew that this is like not great, that I don't understand the deeper meaning. I don't have that deeper understanding of what's going on, and that was really really difficult to conquer. And I feel like over those years at paddle I've learned that okay, it's okay, it's not to know things, it's not okay not asking questions. This
Yep.
is not okay. You need to have that ability to okay, I don't know something, sorry, I don't know something, and it's fine to ask about the things that you don't know. And
Mm-hmm.
the beginnings were just like I had so much pride in myself. I was like, I'm gonna do everything myself, I'm gonna figure it out, I'm gonna google this Stack Overflow, I'm gonna just do everything.
Yep.
And that was so stupid, that was so silly. When I think about it, I was like, oh my god, there is no shame on asking things. There are things that you won't find on Stack Overflow because you don't always work on greenfield projects. Sometimes you work on legacy code, which like someone actually put some thought in. And I think that was the biggest struggle, that I jumped in to legacy code quickly without having a concrete um, let's say foundations of what it should look like. And then
Yep.
I need to learn how to test things. That was the biggest struggle as well. Yep.
Nice. And I think that you're not the only one who's felt that imposter syndrome kicking in. Even me, after so many years, I still feel that imposter syndrome kicking me in the butt every single day. Especially days that you might come in and it's like, okay, I've never done this, or I've not done this specific type of technology or something along those lines. That's the first thing that comes to my mind. Is just like, hey, oh gosh, Vitor, someone's gonna find out that you're a phony, or uh, you're a
Yeah.
fake senior engineer, or things like that. It doesn't matter how many times you've done something. It doesn't matter how many years you've done it. Uh, that imposter syndrome is definitely something that's gonna come and knock at your door at some point in your life. At least that's what I've learned, and I have felt it big time.
Yep.
Um,
That's the reason why I make my imposter syndrome and tell it to F off.
I see. Well, I normally just have a coffee so that so that my coffee imposter syndrome cannot kick me, um, because when I'm
Yeah.
highly caffeinated, I tend to not think about my imposter syndrome so much, unless I'm doing something completely new and I don't know how it works. Then it's like, yeah. It's that sort of Simpson. What are you looking for the most?
It's definitely like making like 5-year plan was like a quite big challenge, because I did recently my 5-year plan. That was a great advice from our colleague that I received, and I realized that okay, fine, I love coding. Don't get me wrong, I'm loving it. I love to
Mm-hmm.
create things. I need to get more experience in many ways, but I know my end goal is to educate, and I want to work closely with people because I love people and I'm such a people person. And probably in my career, I'm gonna end up either like teaching
Mm-hmm.
or just managing people, because I want to create high performing teams. That is something that I've learned at Paddle, that it doesn't really matter the seniority or your place in the team. You are responsible for performing, like in terms, but performing, it's a bigger let's say measurement, because the team can perform amazingly in terms of delivering, but
Yep.
it's just like awkward to be in that team, for example. Or you can have super like fun, or you can have a lot of fun, but the team can't deliver. It's always that balance about delivering and creating strong bonds that will build the trust atmosphere within the team. So like we can open up during the retros. You can say things like, okay, I literally don't know where to go from here. Please unblock me, help me to pair.
Yep.
And there is someone that will always be there for you. I want to create and I want to encourage everyone in the software engineering to just be a better human beings, because if you want to be a good engineer, you need to have enough empathy to kind of address how the system that you're creating, how the users will feel, what would be the experience, how your colleague feels about something, or how to communicate properly. That's the reason why I invested so much effort into developing my soft skills, that I really want to kind of bring into the next level and use them in my career. Obviously, I'm using it as a software engineer, but I think soft skills are the most crucial when you lead the team, or you create some sort of I don't know, relationship with your colleagues. So this is the most important one for me.
Mm-hmm. Nice. And if you could go back and do maybe, I don't know, whether you're a Doctor Who fan or you prefer to now kind of do a bit of Doctor Strange, if you could go back in time, what would you say to younger Beata as she's thinking of becoming a software engineer? What would your advice be?
Hide your pride, ask questions, believe in yourself, listen to smarter people that's been there before you, and yeah, know your value as well.
Yep. I guess I'd probably say to that, and add to that, if I were to with younger Beata, don't be afraid to fail. 'Cause everyone fails at some point. I have done some crazy stuff with production access. That yeah, we all been there. So yeah, don't be afraid to fail,
Yeah.
everyone. Um, so I guess the one of the last questions is, where can people find you?
Oh, everywhere, but mainly on Instagram. But I'm such an Instagram child. I don't know. Like my Instagram became a little bit related to software engineering during the pandemic, because I met so many cool people there, mainly from Poland, and I spent a lot of time on Clubhouse talking to people about randomly IT things. We even started like when it was like peak time for Clubhouse. We were having like a lot of content creation there, but it ended up with amazing contacts with amazing people that actually I met in person. Conferences, I would say, because I started conference like public speaking presentations. I want to do one in English so I can show off a little bit.